We launched the Team Plan brand in September 2022, took on our first employee. That quickly grew to 3, carried those 3 guys for a couple of years, and then I could see loads of opportunity for expanding the business and taking on more work, so the temptation was there to grow and to bring more people in. Stress and anxiety is not something I'd really experienced that much in the past before, but once you start growing a business, you get all this responsibility. The head is constantly whirring 24/7. For me personally, I was having to travel around the UK a lot. I was working away from home a lot, 2 young children at home, not spending enough time at home with them. So one of the visions was to be able to start a business where I'm managing other people, to be on those construction sites scattered around, and I can have more of a stable position overseeing them all. The responsibility of having to manage other people and to make sure that they're delivering what they were expected to do for customers is quite intense. I find it quite intimidating at times to step into that arena of having these people working for you that rely on you. Beforehand, I was perhaps holding back a little bit with certain decisions because I was a bit intimidated about what it meant financially, commitment-wise for the future. CH4B was a personal recommendation from somebody who was working with them already. You need somebody to give you a little bit of confidence to make decisions sometimes, to tell you they've done it previously and these are the kinds of things you can expect. I think one of the best things they do is they sit you down first of all to look at your roadmap. Firstly, understanding what is your business, what are your values, what are the drivers behind the business, what are you going to do over the next 9-12 months to deliver on the growth that you want to achieve.
Before CH4B were involved, I think Rob felt extremely responsible and was extremely responsible. You know, as you're building a business, it's not just your own livelihood, it's other people. Doing all of the work, taking on all of the information, bringing all the plates himself, which definitely meant a lot of late nights, 0 work-life balance. Even when he wasn't working, you could tell he was working in his brain.
It was obvious to me that he was so engrossed in the weeds, as you might call it, that entangled in the minutiae of his business through every facet of it, not just project management, but financing people and so on. He was really struggling with so many plates spinning. I recognized the signs of stress that were there within him within the first session.
When I've had sessions with CH4B at particularly difficult times, Jonathan's shown a genuine interest in my welfare. He's asked about how I'm coping with the management of all these customers we've got in the company and all the work that's going on and all the issues with staff at the same time as having 2 kids at home and a wife and how are things on that front. He's made sure that I am maintaining focus on some of the more important things in life rather than just obsessing over the business. Treats like a counselling session for me personally sometimes when I've got all this stuff going on, all this noise going on, to be able to sit down and actually talk about the core business itself rather than everything else that we're doing.
Once he's taken a step back from that, he's had lots of time then to work on the company, so it has improved, and you can definitely tell his stress levels have improved as well. Little things like timesheets, getting everything standardised like that has put a lot of, relief on him.
I think one of the ones we weren't sure about was taking on an apprentice. We talked this through with CH4B, decided to make the punt and go for it, and it's one of the most successful things we've done. We've changed the structure, we've grown as an organisation, but the reassuring thing is that turnover is increasing year on year. So we've pretty much doubled turnover for the last 3 years running, and reassuring for me that we are kind of heading in the right trajectory of what I wanted to achieve.